Hey, my name is Emma, also known as Stitched by Emma, if you follow me for my crocheting and knitting and stuff. And today I'm going to tackle more of the knitting side and take on a video that has been my most requested, which is everything that I've ever knit. And I mainly started as a crocheter, so knitting is more fairly new to me. So this is just something that felt a lot easier to tackle than everything I've ever crocheted because, oh my god, the mess that video would make, I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about the cleanup for something like that. But knitting I can do. I have a pile of everything next to me. I'm gonna do my best to actually go in order of like when I made everything, but honestly for some of it like I don't actually remember. I feel like now would be a good time to make this video because we just passed my 1-year anniversary of learning how to knit, so like it's perfect. 1 year of knitting, 1 year of improvement, everything like organically. You know, I don't know why I keep doing this. A little background about like my knitting story, I guess. If you followed me or watched some of my other videos, you might have heard a little bit about this already, but I used to work in a yarn store. I was only a crocheter and they only let people who knit work in the front of the store, okay? And so I felt a lot of peer pressure from other co-workers to learn how to knit, and I also wanted to be able to be promoted to work in the front of the store and not the back. So they basically told me like, if you learn how to knit, you can move to the front. And I was like, okay, bet. So I learned how to knit in like a week. I don't know, I taught myself really fast. I made a hat in the first 2 days, and then I made a chunky sweater, and I came in super excited to like show them, hey, look what I did. And then I found out that an 18-year-old boy who started working at the store 3 weeks ago and just learned how to cast on got promoted. So that sucked. I did not work there much longer after that, but I basically originally learned to try and like advance in work, and then they didn't give a shit. So I started doing it more on my own after I quit, and I made a video on TikTok 2 months after. So I learned in like September, October, and then later in the year in like December, I was like, oh, here's what I made in the first 2 months of knitting. And recently a girl like went back on that video and started like responding to every comment from like a year ago, responding to every comment being like, she's lying. She's lying. I almost like pulled up receipts from the text with my grandma with timestamps and being like, grandma, look, I'm knitting. Because why would I lie to my grandma? You know, like that would just be stupid and psychopathic. Without further ado, here's what I've knit in the last year, knowing with some context that I learned how to knit for work, ended up quitting my job, and then ended up knitting and crocheting full time. So that's how crazy life can get, I guess. Number one is this cutie pie hat. Okay, I know I did not do stripes on my very first project. I used a self-striping yarn that I got at Joann Fabrics like years before and couldn't find a good use for it. So I picked it up for this hat and it was perfect. I wear this hat all the time in the winter. I say all the time in the winter, but I've only had one winter with it, but I did wear it all the time that whole winter. It's really cute. The fit is nice. I followed like a YouTube tutorial that popped up when I searched like easy knit ribbed hat. It's pretty simple, just like a 2x2 rib, and like I said, self-striping, so like it definitely looks more impressive than it is, but I love this hat. Then I was very impatient and I didn't want to do anything basic, and all I wanted was a big floral chunky sweater. So I made a big floral chunky sweater, and this sweater is really, really cute. I'm not gonna lie, for a first project, I was super proud of myself. And again, people thought I was lying when I said this was my first like real project. I wouldn't lie. This is just a stupid thing to lie about. I don't know, I had a lot of experience with crochet, like 3 to 4 years of crochet experience prior to learning, so like it's pretty natural that if you pick up another form of fiber art that it might just click. It just clicked with me. Also, the color work is duplicate knit, which I feel like it's pretty obvious because the color work does not look that great. It's a little bit choppy. The stitches are a little bit tucked, and that's okay. It's a first project and it's super cute. I love this sweater. I think it's so cozy. I used for this one like the Michaels Loops and Threads Charisma yarn, I think. Yeah, Charisma, that's it. I have a couple other projects that I use with this yarn because when I first learned, I was like, I don't want to like use up my nice yarns on things that I don't know if they're gonna turn out good, because I don't want to like knit something super ass and then be stuck with it and then also have used up my nice yarns and feel like I don't really know how to properly undo it without like cutting things up and stuff. But Unfortunately, I ordered a ton of this yarn, this bulky yarn to practice with, but I got good really fast, so I started using like my nicer yarns, but it's okay. Like, I have found use for them, and it's beautiful, it's fine. Project number 3 is what I call my arm warmer sweater. So this is when I got impatient for my yarn to arrive with the bulky yarns, and I used this textured yarn that I got at a craft thrift store back in college. I went to U of I in Champaign, and there was this really nice like secondhand craft store that was right off campus that I used to go to. I miss it, but it's so far away, and there's nicer ones in Chicago anyway that I've been able to stop at. But I do miss the cheapness of being able to dig through these secondhand yarns and always come home with like some weird shit, and I could always make really cool stuff from it. So if I ever go back and visit and reminisce for like old time's sake, I would absolutely just stop there and see what I can haul home. But anyway, I use this textured yarn for the center of it, and then it's just a basic like panel with a v-neck. I think I wanted the neck to look different. It definitely didn't turn out v-neck like when I try it on. It's much more U-neck. It's much more like crew neck-ish. For the sleeves, I used one of the Cascade yarns, not like the basic 220. It's something else. It's something like superwash or something thicker, but it's really nice. I really like this yarn, and it looks really cute on. I added ruffles with some mohair and ties on the end by holding together like the mohair with the textured yarn to look nice and funky. And then I put like a little tie cincher around the waist to add just a little more dimension. This one was super unique. I honestly, in retrospect, this is a really good early project. Like, this was made in the first like 2 weeks of learning. I think pretty damn good, Emma. Pretty damn good. This is where I start to lose track of what comes next. I am going to kind of like guess the order. I think it's right. I think I'm right. But next is what I just called like the ocean blues. This was another self-striping yarn. I got like 11 skeins of this for $10 on eBay. I know, it's like a thick worsted mohair. I don't remember the brand, but it's super soft, super nice, and just like this sweater feels super luxurious. I've had it for almost a year now, and I still haven't blocked it because I was like scared to block at the beginning of knitting. The first couple projects I did, I just never blocked, and then I started to realize, oh, you have to do that. Like, you have to do that or it's gonna look so bad. So here is one that I did not block yet, but I'm definitely going to, and you can tell how like boxy this is. But this is where I tried to practice v-necks again, and I perfected the v-neck, I think, on this one. I wanted to use some more eBay yarn that I got. I'm obsessed with buying yarn on eBay. Ever since I lost the discount that I had from buying nice yarns at the yarn store, I started resorting to almost exclusively buying secondhand through eBay, and the stuff that you find is so cool if you look hard enough, because, you know, sometimes it's bad, but sometimes it's awesome. This is one that I made in a day and a half because I was really bored and I used big needles and it worked up really fast. It has this really pretty textured yarn. I think the brand of this one was Classic Elite Desert. I believe that that's what this was. But it's so pretty and the colors were super nice, and it has a cute little off-the-shoulder look when you wear it. Just a nice little scrappy sweater that I loved, still love. So this next sweater was kind of like a fuck you because when I was working at that store, I told somebody that I really wanted to try working with a lace weight yarn, and they go, "Oh honey, you can't do that yet." And I was like, who are you to tell me what to do? My boss maybe, but not in the real world. I'm the boss of me. And you know what? It's not a perfect sweater, but I did work with lace weight and follow a lace pattern. And it's like really, really pretty and really, really soft. And I really like this one. Oh, and I feel like I should state this like now. None of the things that I made have any patterns. I didn't follow any patterns. I didn't write any patterns. There's only one that I followed a tutorial for, and I will tell you what that is when we get there. But yeah, this one I just followed a tutorial for the wishbone stitch by some random YouTuber on here, and that's how I did that. I made one panel with a v-neck, one panel big, and then the sleeves. And I really love this sweater. I don't have a lot of yellow clothes, so it's always nice to have something that like stands out a little bit, and I think it looks really pretty. Yarn is Fiber Space Cumulus, which is probably one of my favorite like lace weight mohair type yarns, because I don't think it's mohair, it's like alpaca and silk, and it is just so soft and warm and amazing, and also like relatively affordable. I think the only other like cake mohair that is cheaper than this that I found is Hobby's Diablo. So if you're looking for a really soft mohair alternative, check out Fiber Space Cumulus for sure. I feel like an ad. I'm not sponsored, and you can see this starting to pile up behind me. It's not sponsored. I wish I was. So then next I had some of that Desert Classic Elite like textured yarn left, not nearly enough to make something on its own, so I decided to do like a mixed texture sweater, mixed yarns, mixed weights, all on the same needles. But that is when this guy was born, and I love this sweater. This sweater is so pretty and unique, and the way the sleeve kind of like accordions, because I do like a row of the mohair in between each yarn change, it's so sick. It's so cool. This one is just a combination of different yarns. This one is it's coming to me. It's the same one I used for my first green Penny Lane coat. It was all in the wind and it's all coming back to me. Another loops and threads alpaca thing from Michaels. For sure, for sure. And then this I thrifted, I think it's Patton's Divine. And then this is Hobby Diablo. So just a very fun, funky little mix of things that looks so cool when you put it on. And I love it. This is my Drew Barrymore sweater. This one was made with Barocco Ultra Alpaca. Barocco Ultra Alpaca. It's a mouthful. This is my first fully ribbed piece, and this is the first piece that I blocked. I cannot believe we've made it this far without blocking anything. But, you know, that's life. You live, you learn. Here we are. This one was inspired by this photo shoot that has been on my Pinterest board for years of like Drew Barrymore in the 90s, and she's got her signature 90s makeup, and she's wearing a sweater that looks exactly like this, and like a psychedelic little skirt, and I just think it's like the cutest sweater ever. So I had been dying to recreate it. I made a swatch for this for the first time ever, because I was like, this is gonna be fitted, I can't really do guesswork, I need to make a swatch. And even though I made the swatch, I still way overestimated the neckline. The neckline is way, way deeper than I wanted it to be, but it still looks cute with like a little bit of like a lacy bra underneath. But this is something that I've considered like selling to somebody that it would fit better, and then remaking it for myself with my improved knowledge, because I made this one like last December around Christmas time, and I remember being super excited for it and then a little sad that it didn't turn out exactly how I was like envisioning, but it still works and I still love it. And it's really cute. It's so 90s and 70s at the same time. Totally my vibe. It's kind of like the same vibe of like this top I'm wearing now, but like in a different font. Here's another one with that loops and threads bulky yarn from Michaels. I really wanted to try doing color work that wasn't duplicate knit, because that first flower that I did was duplicate knit, and I didn't totally love the way it works. Whenever I say that like color work intimidates me, everyone's like, just do duplicate knit, and I'm like, I know it's possible, but it never looks quite as good. And so I wanted to try doing color work. So this is the sweater that came out of that, and I did like a little moon. This one's super cute, but it does fit a little bulky around my shoulders, but I still like it. I'm literally gonna say that for every piece. I'm gonna say like 25 flaws I think it has, and I go, but I still like it, because it's like my baby, it's like my child. I spent so much time on it. But this is one that, I don't know, I'd consider selling this one and making one that's a little bit better one day. But I think it's cute, and I think the color work turned out very nice for a first try at color work. I keep like looking at my pile and feeling like I'm missing something, like I'm missing something big. But I don't think I am. I feel like I have everything here. I like dug through my closet, and I dug through my little bins where I keep most of my projects, and I don't have any like summer knits, so it wouldn't be like with my summer clothes. So I don't know why I have this like sinking feeling that I'm missing a big one. Now I have to show you probably my worst piece. It's the first time I tried to knit a raglan, and it is nothing wrong with the actual tutorial for the raglan that I watched. I watched Made in the Moments tutorial for how to do a raglan. They did a fantastic job with teaching. The problem was me, because after I made this, I got obsessed with trying to make raglans, and I made like many more in different like ways. I made like a turtleneck one, I made cardigan versions, and I was like obsessed with making it. The only one that turned out bad was the first one I did, because the yarn that I used did not match up with the needles that I used, and my skill in trying to like pick up the stitches on the sleeves was abhorrent. Like, I needed to learn, and that's okay. But this is it. The neckline is massive. Like, you have never seen a neckline quite like this. That wasn't meant to be off the shoulder. This was meant to be a crew neck. Unfortunately, I did not accomplish that. A lot of the stitches are super tucked because I just did not have good tension. And in the video, they even say, like, if you're going to change colors for your ribbing, do like one row of normal first before adding it in, so there's no like weirdness sticking out. Did I listen? No. Was it on purpose? No, I forgot. I like turned the video off and I was like, I can do this by myself. I'm a pro. No. So this is probably my worst knit piece, just because I did a really bad job. And when it came to like attaching the sleeves, if you have raglan experience, like, you'll know that there's just like a little bit of skill and trial and error when it comes to like picking up those sleeve stitches, and there is like so much mess under here. It's mess city. My next piece is a little skirt. I knit this up while watching I knit this up while watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this one's really cute. It was made with Cascade Heritage, which is a super lightweight yarn. There's a little bow in the back, and there's a tag on this one because I included it in my pop-up. It did not sell. That's okay. It's on my website now if anybody's interested, but it's just this really cute mini skirt. It looks adorable. It's flowy, it's soft. I'm a big fan. I definitely want to try and make a more complex skirt somewhere along the lines. I just haven't really gotten to it, and I don't know why. It's one of those things where I always like think I'm gonna do it, and then I don't know. I've been in a really weird state of like paralysis, of like creative paralysis lately, where I just keep like having all these ideas, but I can't start them for some reason. Like, it's like I have so many ideas and I feel like I can't actually complete them. So I just end up like not doing anything and then feeling like garbage about it. I gotta do something about that. That's why I haven't made a YouTube video in like a month, because I literally, sorry, we're going on a tangent for a second, but I recently just got monetized, and you would think that like once you get monetized, you'd be like, I'm gonna make, I'm gonna gain those subs, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna make this my job. You would think, but the second I actually got the monetization, I like lost all motivation. I started being like Charlie Brown kicking a rock, like nobody cares what I have to say, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's such a pathetic little mindset, and like that's just me talking to myself, okay? I'm like, stop, just get your ass up. Nobody wants to work these days. Get your ass up and make a video. I don't know. So I keep telling myself like I have to just put my feet on the ground and like get moving and try, because once you start, like I was dreading filming this for some reason, but once I started talking, I'm like, oh, I forgot. I love talking to the camera. I love talking about knitting. I love showing my projects. So I don't know. Anyway, this was the next raglan I made, and it was astronomically better. Look how cute that is. This was also made with that Michael's Loops and Threads chunky yarn, and it's adorable. It's a color changing one. This one fits so nice. It's got like a very slight turtleneck to it. The sleeves are long. I didn't do any ribbing on the sleeves. I just blocked them so that they didn't really roll as much, and it's really cute. This one is very Barbie, and I love it. Next we got the Minecraft vest. Here we go. You can see why it's called Minecraft, because it's got like the pixelated look to it. I just took two yarns and like alternated them whenever I felt like it in hopes that it would look good, and I think it does look good, and that alternation does make it very thick, so it's very warm. And then the outside of it just has this like color changing yarn that gives it a super funky, unique, I don't know, look and texture to it. This one also has a tag because I was selling this at the pop-up as well. It's not on my website yet because I don't have good pictures of it, but if you're interested, you know who to call. But I do think that this was super cute and like ambitious of me to try. And the whole time I was making it too, I was like, this is gonna suck. I was like, I'm gonna hate this so much. But then once it ended, I was like, oh wait, no, it's perfect. You just gotta really trust the process sometimes. This top I specifically remember making at Easter this year, and it's a little off the shoulder number. This is the first time I tried making something off the shoulder. I did make it way too cropped on accident, so it's off the shoulder with like ribbed sleeves, and then the ribbing stops to make it flare out with like crochet detailing. The problem is I didn't do any kind of like ribbing to the bottom, so the bottom rolls like crazy. So this looks really, really cute with like a pair of super high-waisted jeans where you can tuck in the bottom and hide it. Oh my god, so adorable when it's worn like that. But there isn't really another way that I can wear it that makes me feel like it looks finished. That's my biggest gripe with it. But like overall, it's really super cute. It's just that stupid like rolling at the bottom. This is one where blocking was magical because when I first tried it on, the off the shoulder did not even off the shoulder at all. It just looked like a regular collar, and I freaked out because I was like, holy shit. I was like, I did all of this work and now it looks like absolute garbage. But thankfully, blocking saved this. I trusted my swatch and everything turned out good. It sits like perfectly off the sides of my shoulders. I ended up really liking this one, even though I kind of like was scared of it at first. And then there's like a little I-cord detailing around the neckline, the collar too. Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. I think this was definitely made before that last one, because if that one was made at Easter and this one I made for St. Patrick's Day, that math wouldn't make sense. So this one definitely was made first. This was the first cardigan I ever made. I used a raglan structure, but just instead of working in the round, I did rows and then sectioned off for the sleeves as normal, and I added one little button band around the collar, and I love this cardigan. This cardigan is perfection to me. I use so many different yarns in this. Almost all of them are two held together for like some extra texture, except for this one and this one, which are just color changing yarns. But this one was so perfect. I made this to go to the Chicago St. Patrick's Day bar crawl, which was so fun. And I wore this with like a shirt that me and my friends made where I like put shammocks on my boobs. It was super cute. I made a whole video about this next one, but my Talking Heads vest, this is just the album cover of the Talking Heads 77 album. I definitely struggled a little bit with this one because this was the thinnest yarn I'd ever used with needles that were like appropriate for those yarns. A lot of times when I use smaller yarns, I would use bigger needles so it would finish faster. This one, I used smaller ones to go with it, and it looks very clean. It looks very like professional, right? And I love that about it. But it took me a while to work up. Well, the charts I had to redo like so many times for this one. I ended up making like 5 different ones and just putting them on my Etsy for super cheap because I was like, I think somebody else might like this or want to use this, and then it can fit like 5. And then it can fit like a bunch of different size ranges. But the first one that I did, I made for 150 stitches across, which is what I thought I had cast on, but I didn't, which was stupid. Then when I started doing like this across, it ended at like halfway through the D. And I was like, oh no. It's like, there is no fucking way, I have to start over. So instead of starting over the whole thing, I just made a new chart for 120 across instead of 150. So it ended up working out and it looks super cute. My only thing that I was a little bummed about was that in my head, this was like a fitted turtleneck, and then it said like Talking Heads like right across here. But the smallest pair of needles I had with the smallest yarn I could find, the gauge always ended up being 120 stitches minimum, which unfortunately goes all the way across my shoulders. So this does kind of like bleed down onto my arms and shoulders, which is fine. And I still love it because I'm a Talking Heads stan. I love Talking Heads, and I think it's super cute, and I always get like compliments when I wear it out. People are like, no way, is that Talking Heads merch? And I'm like, kind of. We're getting close to the end, y'all. We are getting close to covering everything I've ever knit, which is crazy because this honestly doesn't feel like that much to me, just compared to all the crochet projects. I love this one. I love this one. This is a backless sweater with a little tie in the back with this mossy boucle for the sleeves. The yarn for this one is from the brand You to Me to You, but you like the sheep, EWE, 2 letter 2, me, letter 2, number 2, number 2, me, number 2, you, the letter. Sorry, that was confusing. But this is just such a cute little top. I find it so pretty and versatile. The flower appliques just kind of totally bring it out and make it unique and stand out. I feel like I love this one so much. This one really felt like a huge, like, oh my god, I can do that moment for knitting, I guess. It's something that I love very much. And also one that I had to start over multiple times because I was stupid and I was like, I don't think I need to swatch for this one. I think I can just like wing it. I could not wing it. Next one, I'm buttoning back up because I just was wearing it like earlier. This is a fave of mine. It's so good. You're gonna have to just wait. This cardigan is one of the prettiest things I've ever made, and it looks so damn good. I used 12 different yarns for this. It's just a whole mixture of scraps that I had and pieces that I wanted to use up, and I think it turned out so perfect, and it's so comfortable. Most of it is holding like a silk alpaca with a merino, so oh my god, is it soft and luxurious and beautiful. It was my first time doing an actual button band too, which felt like a huge accomplishment. I don't even know if I did it right. I don't know if there's like a proper technique I was supposed to follow, but I just kind of made it up and guessed, and it turned out fine, and I love it. This is another one that I get compliments for every time I wear it out, and it's just so good. We've made it to the last piece, y'all. I'm kind of sad. It's over already. Which, of course, is this gorgeous little sweater. This was kind of fun to like see everything back to back and see how much I've improved, because like comparing this sweater to that purple striped raglan is insane. Like, this looks so good, so professional. I love it so much. I made this one with hobby wool, friends wool, held with Hobby Diablo. Super affordable, super nice, and it's soft and it's cozy, and I really, really like this sweater. This was basically just a recreation of something I've had on my Pinterest board for a while. I don't know where the sweater's from. I don't know where you can find it, but I just really wanted it for myself. And I made the graph myself, just based off of the photo of the sweater, and the whole thing just turned out so perfect. This is one of my best fitting projects. It's one of my best looking projects. Technically advanced because I did color work and I did a turtleneck and I did the ribbing, and oh my god, just looking at this compared to this pile behind me, it makes me feel so accomplished. It makes me feel so proud. This one I haven't been able to wear out yet just because the weather has like inexplicably warmed up lately, so I needed to cool down a little bit. I needed to cool down so I can wear this out and flaunt it, so I can do thanks, I made it. But that is everything I've ever knit, which is crazy. That's 1 year's worth of knitting, 1 year's worth of like in real time progress. I think that was basically an order of like how I progressed with making things. I can't wait to learn more about knitting. I think it's so fun, and I hope to get a knit pattern out eventually one day, but I don't think that's something that's in the future for me anytime soon. I think I really want to like take it slow, feel like I'm learning everything at like an appropriate amount before I try to like, I don't know, add it to my repertoire. I'm totally cool with like selling some of my knit pieces, but I don't think I would trust myself with writing a pattern, especially because I haven't even read one yet. I have a couple patterns that I do want to buy and read and try, which you can find in my video from a couple weeks ago of like my fall winter knitting plans, which these two are both in that video. So I've already crossed off 2 fall winter knitting plan sweaters, which is amazing. And I think I'm going to start another one soon. I'm working on a new crochet project right now, which is going to be like a front corseted top with like a sleeve that's tight here and then goes into like full bell. So I'm really excited about that, and I hope that turns out good. I finished like the bust portion of it, and now I'm moving on to the sleeves. So I'll probably talk about that in a future video. I also have recently released a new crochet pattern. It's my 10th, which is really crazy and exciting considering that I You know, me a couple years ago did not think I'd even get like 1 or 2 out there. I thought that's too hard and I could never read a pattern, let alone write and release one. But my pattern for the Victoria top is on my Etsy and website now, as well as 9 others. So if you want to check out any of those, if you want to check out my website to see the pieces I currently have for sale, please feel free to do so. And if you like my stuff, if you want to see more, you can like, sub, whatever you're supposed to say at the end of a YouTube video, because I'm gonna try and be more active on here since I'm trying to get over that hump of that creative paralysis. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do it together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some inspiration or something along the lines of that from this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.